Hello, YouTube. If you're new here, hi, I'm Ariel, and I'm a drag queen who likes to play Sims. So, do the intro. In today's video, I'm going to do a house tour of my Little Mermaid's castle. I hope you like it. Stay tuned. Okay, let's get into the build. So here is the water view of the castle. And then here's the side view. And then here is the view from the gate / courtyard entrance of the castle. So here is like a little landing area where you could like put your boats or whatever and basically just walk in. So you come up these steps, and then here is a little like landing sort of say, where in the movie this is where Eric was playing with Max, and this is Ariel's like balcony where she's like brushing her hair and he notices her and they just have a little moment, So yeah, little romantic garden. And then when you walk through this door that is on the balcony area, you walk into the dining room. The dining room, I would say, is an important part of the movie, being that this is the scene where Grimsby finally meets Ariel. He finally sees her. So of course, this is where they sit, and I wanted to make sure that the whole room was glass windows, because when you actually like saw it in the movie, it was like literally glass everywhere. And then of course the fireplace and the paintings above it, and then the side tables, which I just sized up some paintings that I thought would be cute for this little area, and then of course the dramatic long dining table. And then through this door, if you go through it, it is Chef Louie's kitchen. So Chef Louie's kitchen is the scene where Sebastian is running crazy, basically trying not to get murdered by the crazy chef that's trying to make stuffed crabs. So here is the oven stove area. There was a full like brick in the movie. However, I wanted to make sure that it was like big and dramatic, and it actually can light on fire with these mini stoves or fireplaces that I shrunk, and you just have to basically have your sim come over and light them. And then I made sure to capture that I wanted the kitchen not to be so clean. Like, it's dirty, it's messy. He was all over the place, and so is basically everything in it. However, I made sure that if you do download the castle, it is fully like functionable. There is an extra stove over here, and there's a sink over here, and the fridge is over back here. And of course, the tea and the coffee machines are in the back, so your sim has that. And then if you come through this way, it is a hallway that leads to the bedrooms and a bathroom. The first bedroom we are going to go in is Ariel's. So this is in the first movie, and this is basically, you only ever see her in this room, I think twice in the movie. And it's a beautiful blue bed, and then there was like vines behind her that I wanted to make sure that was incorporated. And then of course the fireplace, the mirror, and then all like the vintage paintings that were around her that were so pretty, and it made like a great like touch to the room that it wasn't so empty. And then if you of course go through this door, it's her balcony. And then I made sure to incorporate a little vanity just so when she's sitting there and Sebastian is talking to her and she is too memorized about all the human things that she clearly doesn't pay no mind. Like, she's happy, she's good to go. And then you come back out through those doors and come into this hallway. Here is a little, just like fancy-esque white bathroom with gold accents. That's just, I wanted to make sure there was a bathroom on each level of this house. Even though you don't get to see them in the movies, I wanted to make sure they were incorporated, so that way the build is fully functional and livable. And then when you come down, here's the second bedroom. And after like researching, I was like, I need something to go in this room. And I was like, after I found this idea, I was like, oh my god, I have to use it. So in Little Mermaid 2, of course, Ariel and Eric have a daughter, and her name is Melody. So I wanted to make sure her bedroom was captured just as well. So if you want to play with the full Little Mermaid experience and include Melody, here's like her bedroom, which was pink, and it was always tidy because strict parents and stuff. So I didn't want to add too much like clutter and mess for her to be yelled at. But however, if you play it, clutter it up. Then if you come down these stairs, you come to basically more stairs. So this is like a little like in-house balcony that in the original movie, Ariel comes running down these steps and comes around this pillar, and this is when she first sees Vanessa in the movie. And of course she finds out the bad news that, however, Eric is getting married. But she doesn't know that he's under her. Spoilers, sorry. And then if you come to this door, it leads you to sort of like, not an office sort of say, but a little like painter's room with like books, canvases, paint. This way is a little like library that's also not incorporated in the movie. However, I felt like it's a castle, it's gonna have a library or something to do with books and a whole bunch of like basically books. And then if you come through this set of doors, it leads you to the piece of the castle that's really not, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be a part of the castle, but it's like the detachment. Just want to incorporate this, make sure it was connected, and that way you can actually get over here and be on the balcony, just for more fun play. Then you come back to the little in-house balcony with stairs. There is 2 more doors. This tinier door over here, when you go through it, it leads to the outdoor balcony that shows the courtyard. Now I wanted to make sure this also was incorporated, because if you watch the movie for less than 5 seconds, this scene is played, and it's when Ariel and Eric are in the carriage, and the maid and Grimsby are standing on this balcony waving at them, to like saying bye, because they're going on a tour of the kingdom. And I don't know why, I just thought it was like so appealing that they had these big gates that no one really ever like sees in the movie, and then of course these stairs that lead to these towers, which I would think is more like a watchtower sort of say of the like castle, which are fully functionable. If you actually go up these sets of stairs, they lead to rooms with ladders in them, and then you can go up another level, and then even another level, which is basically where the fire or like the head watchers would be watching over the castle. And then in the courtyard, in the image that I use as reference, there is there is a little like clock tower sort of say that you see, and so I connected it to a well house that I turned into like a little green room. basically just a whole bunch of little fun greenery, including the well. And then if you come out of the clock tower / greenhouse, there is a little garden behind here, just in the little corner of the place. So if your sim likes gardening, have that. Then in the original movie, when Ariel was first found and they find her and she's in this, like, I don't know, it's literally a cloth and rope tied around her, and the maids are like, what do we do? And they have to wash it. And so I wanted to keep this as true to the movie, so I added the washboard and the clothing lines for, of course, like laundry, but like back then they didn't have washing machines, so I wanted to keep it as true to the movie as possible. And also, if you haven't noticed, the whole house has no electronics, no TVs, and no computers. So the whole build is kind of set in that time period that I really wanted to capture in this build. So when you come through the courtyard, here's like the doors to come in, and it's kind of like a seating area, seats here, and then there's an archway there, and then more seating area, which it'll make sense why I made this seating area later in the build. So it's just a whole bunch of seats, and then the stairs to go upstairs, and of course a little piano for like people, if they were hosting an event, someone could be playing the piano and entertaining guests while they were still getting ready or the event hasn't started yet. However, if you go back up these stairs, next to the library, I added a little bathroom, just so there's a bathroom on this level now. Nothing like too shabby about this, it's just a little like fancy bathroom. Then the balcony, if you didn't go through this door, you would go through these doors, which takes you into the ballroom. The ballroom is not in the original movie, however, it is in the second movie, where it's like Melody's birthday or some celebration to do with Melody. And I thought, like, if it's the same castle in 1 and 2, why not incorporate it into this build? So when you would come through, of course, the grand steps where you would walk down to your guest, and people normally would announce like, oh, princess, prince, and just announce you when you would come to the party. However, you know, there's those fancy people that think they're better than everyone, so I made sure I incorporated those balcony seats just for like the fancier people that are like, oh, I'm too good to go down there and dance, I'm not gonna party, I'm just gonna sit and watch. So of course I incorporated 2 of those, and there's also a bench here and here, so if people didn't want to come to the party, that's their choice. So at the party, which come down all these steps, basically a little like dance area, and then of course this little corner over here is for entertainment, singing, violin, piano, whoever is the entertainment of the party. And then there's 2 doors behind the steps, which are right here, 1 and 2, that lead you back to the main area of the house. And then also attached to the first floor of the house is this bedroom, which I was thinking like, what could go in this house? And I was thinking, well, if Grimsby really is supposed to be looking after Eric, he would live within the castle himself too. So I incorporated a little room for Grimsby to live in, which he was a little like uptight and always fancy looking, so I incorporated these little like dressing area, so he always makes sure he looks nice and dapper with his little display. And his room also is attached to the little like balcony area, sort of say, like the ship watch place, where if he wanted to come here and was waiting for Eric to come home from one of his voyages, that if he didn't go on, he would come here, and I made sure his room was attached to this. Now if you come through this door, it leads you to the outside dock, which this dock is only in the end of the movie, I believe, and it's basically when, or not the end, but like close to the end, when Ariel is sitting on this dock crying her eyes out because Vanessa and Eric are on their wedding day, basically leaving, and instead of getting up and doing something to get her man back, she's gonna cry on this dock. So I wanted to make sure that this was also a key element in the build beside the house. I researched and researched and researched the movies, rewatched them a million times, and I even Googled and looked into the original castle that the movie was based off of. And during those times, there was no electronics. There were no showers. There wasn't even, some people didn't even have running water. It was basically, you filled a bucket of water and you put it in the tub, and that's how you washed yourself. So I wanted to like make the castle kind of more like the original that the movie was based off of. And the original had a dungeon and also had a like guys hangout that women weren't allowed in. So I incorporated that behind this curtain. If you come through, you end up in this little hallway that puts you right next to the dungeon and the guys only area. So let's look at the dungeon first. This dungeon area basically is 2 cells, which obviously Disney would not incorporate this. So I put it in here just for fun. So there's 2 dungeons here. One, I wouldn't say one's more fancier than the other, but one does have a shower and one doesn't. However, there is no privacy about the shower at all. None. And I even incorporated, of course, nothing, because you're in jail if you don't get nothing nice to look at. But I did make sure I put the keys on the wall to get them out. And then, of course, the guys' room. So the guys' room mainly is just to kick back, relax, talk about their women, and drink. And play poker and games and just not care about the world. So I wanted to go for like a Western type vibe, or like just like antique, like it's all wooden, like nothing's really like too fancy about this. It's like a cigar room. So of course you got the bar over here with 2 barrels of beer and then more bottles. And I made sure I incorporated like the sea type thing, so 2 pirate ship wheels, a net, a map, a globe, books, and then these 2 little hutches that it just gave the room more of like a little antique-esque thing. Oh, and then there's of course a little anchor over here. But yeah, that's that room. So the next room is, if you, in the library, if you come down this hallway, it attaches to another hallway, which gets you to one of the balconies of the ballroom, which I would think that maybe this would be Ariel and Eric's balcony to watch over Melody at the party, or just like higher end people that didn't want to associate with anyone else. But if you come through this door, you come to the iconic bathroom that Ariel, this is the first time she's ever been in a human bath. And it was a huge bathtub and she's been full bubbles galore. So I wanted to make sure I captured that. So I used a hot tub to emphasize how big the tub was and how tiny she is, because 6 people can fit in here. But however, I just wanted to capture that. And then I added these fish fountains to give that more of like, oh, it's like designer. These plants. And then all the other bathrooms are white and gold, so I wanted to make this one like that bronze type feel to it. So there is, of course, 2 sinks over here, and then you don't really see the other side of the room besides Ariel just in the tub. That's all you really see in this scene. However, if you've seen the musical, this scene is very important because this is when the maids are singing about Ariel, and Ariel is like a mute and she's not talking because she doesn't have a voice. So they help her like get in the bath, and then they basically put her behind room dividers, and she ends up in the beautiful pink ball gown that she goes to the dining scene in. And I just want to incorporate that, so I made it like a little, yes, there's a toilet here, but there's also like a little changing area that if you need to, you could get ready in. And then, just to add to the room, I added a balcony. So now, the last room. If you come up to the room where Ariel and Melody's room are, there is a secret door that leads over here. And if you're not paying attention, you don't see this ladder. But behind this secret door, there, yes, the ladder. And if you go up, it leads to Eric's suite, just to say, which ends up being Ariel and Eric's type suite. So here's like a little fireplace with 2 chairs and a lounge chair, just for them to like lay down, relax, read books, do whatever. And then of course their bed with a little ottoman, mirror, and then photos of Eric's family members that you don't really get to know besides Grimsby, which I think this one kind of looks, oops, this photo, if you really don't look too close, it kind of looks like Grimsby from far away, like a younger, not uptight Grimsby. Then you have 2 chests, which I think one I would say is more like Ariel's like tiara would be in, and then the other one is her human stuff, but her mermaid stuff that she no longer wears, like her seashell bra and her like dingle hopper and her snarf blat, so that way she could still have homage to her merfolk self. And then here's like a little corner for Eric, basically like to plan his next voyage, desk, globe for him to pinpoint where he's going, let Ariel know like, oh, this is where I'm going. And then just so you don't have to keep climbing up and down that ladder, I incorporated a little bathroom for them too, that will also bronze. Here is the double vanity for them, and of course the bathtub in the middle of the room, which is a very like antique type thing that back then tubs used to be in the middle of the room and not towards like a wall or anything. It was just in the smack center of a room. So I wanted to keep that element. And then a little room-esque divider with a toilet. So that way upstairs they can just stay upstairs and do whatever they want and live their life. So I think that is it. That is my Little Mermaid Disney's castle. So yeah, I hope you liked it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because there's a lot more content coming to my YouTube channel. And again, thank you so much for watching my first YouTube video. I was so stressed out, but now that I got through it, I'm okay. I'm good now. Again, thank you so much. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.